Now, I've put on my foundation today, as you will see, and all my base because I had an idea for the live today, which was to go back to my training. So, as you will all know, I did do some training as a makeup artist when I was 18 or 19, but it was stage makeup. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, hello, hello. So it was in stage makeup. Now, the difference, you might ask, what is the difference between doing training in makeup? Hello, Stacey. Hello. Hello. Ah, thank you. Hello, Emma. Ah, my skin looks lovely today. Thank you, Rebecca. And Shahina. So what is the difference between just normal makeup and stage makeup? Well, I think the training that I had, hello, Helena, in stage makeup left me in good stead for any makeup because basically it's all about how the light hits your face. And when you're on stage, you have to exaggerate everything. Everyone's saying hello to one another. So you have to exaggerate everything. So basically, it's all about using shade and light to make the best of your features. Now, obviously, if you're on stage, you're going to overdo it because you have to overdo it because everything needs to be more intense. But nevertheless, it sets you into really good stead about, making the best out of your face shape. So today, that's my this is my concept is making the best out of your face shape. And I've talked about hooded lids before because I have them. I've talked about cheekbones and stuff because we all have them. So this is about trying to explain how to make the best of your face shape. So I'm hoping that what I'm describing, that you can kind of compute it into your kind of routine, right? You can look at your face shape and think what is from what Ali said is going to work for me, because everybody's face shape is different. So what's going to work on me is not necessarily going to work on you. If you have very hooded lids like me, then you're going to want to watch this. Now, you'll see on my sort of what do they call it? Strap line or thumbnail, that's the word I'm looking for. You will see that I was holding this up, Making Faces Beauty Book, and this is a Kevin Aquan. The reason is because these are brilliant in terms of the contour shades. Now, what makes Kevin Aquan? Hello, Claire. Yes, you have caught my live. Hello and welcome. Anyone else just joined? Right. Cult Beauty has a sale on. Oh dear, no, I'm going easy on the spending at the moment, Emma. But thank you, everyone. Cult Beauty's got to. Hello, Terry. 20%. I'm going to have a look though. You've tempted me. Now, with Kevin Aquan, what's great about his contour and sculpt is that they actually look like shadow. A lot of people have turned bronzers into contours. And bronzers are more like this. So this is a bronzer on the top, and this is contour. And there's a big difference, as you can see, because this one's got a grey tint to it. So this is going to make things look like a shadow. This is going to warm up your face. Two different things. And I think a lot of people get confused with bronzing and contouring, and you've got Huda Beauty's Tantour as well, which kind of, is used for both. And because of it gets very confusing because people often double up and use the same thing. But I'm going to talk you through that. So basically what you want to do is you want to really stare at yourself in the mirror and think, what do I want to accentuate? I've got a bit of chubbiness around here and a bit of a double chin. So I want to kind of make that look like this. Now, how does that, right, look different to that? Because there's light on this bit. Okay, so if you put contour on that bit, it's going to make you look like that. And when you get into this, it's really fascinating. You know, how do I make my cheekbones look thinner? Look at where your shadow, there's no point adding shadow where it wouldn't naturally fall because it won't work. But you've got shadows down the side of your nose. You've got shadows in here. Now, if you want to make yourself look older, put the shadows in there. If you want to make yourself look 80, put some shadows in there. But what we don't want to do is actually accentuate this, because as we get older, that gets more and more deep set. Okay? It starts to look like that. Oh, you cancel. Oh, so you missed out on the offers. So anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Because first of all, I'm going to start doing my eyes. Now, I've done my brows and I wanted to show you. What do you think of my brows, ladies? Because I've got one product on my brow, on this brow, that costs £1.99 and one that costs 25 quid. Can you tell? Because I have another little bargain to throw in for you. It's exactly the same. Now, you know that I love Charlotte Tilbury. I will get to this contouring and stuff in a minute. You know I love Charlotte Tilbury. But we're all on a budget and we all spend a lot. You think that £1.99 is better. We all spend a lot on makeup. And I think where you can economise, why not? Because then you can afford to get some of the things that can't easily be duped, like some of her eyeshadow quads or, you know, some of her lovely blushes, right? So I'm saying this not to kind of knock Charlotte Tilbury, but if you can't afford her entire collection and you're not mad like me and you've, over the years, got everything, you like the CT side, okay. But, you know, you can do it for cheaper. Now, this is from Aldi. And this is Charlotte. Look, they're even the same size. They've both got spoolies on one end. Let me show you. Wrong side. More natural look. This slightly, I tell you what it is. It's the shade. It's the shade. Yeah. This one's got a little bit more brown in it. This one's a bit darker. But I think that's more to do with the shade than the actual product. So there is the two spoolies on that side. Obviously, Charlotte's has got rose gold. But they apply exactly the same. So if you want a step to economise on Charlotte Tilbury and you want to get an eyeshadow, then you might want to think about the Aldi one because it's identical. And if anything, I would say the tip, I'm just going to roll this up a bit. If anything, I would say the tip is slightly thinner on the Aldi side, but it's not refillable, the Aldi one. So anyway, just a little thought. If you want to economise on something, I think you can find some really good, and as you know, I showed you the Maybelline one last week even. Right, now I'm going to take, talking of Charlotte Tilbury, I'm going to take her Sophisticate palette because this is a perfect palette for showing you about hooded lids and how to accentuate shadow in hooded lids, because this one here is actually a perfect grey shadowy tone, and then you've got sort of warmer ones to warm it up, but you can really, because it's all matte as well, it really does help you to see what's going on. So I'm going to just do one eye for now. Now you also find when you've got hooded lids that one is always more hooded than the other, which is always complicated because then you can't do the same on both eyes. But as you can see, what makes my eyes hooded is because I haven't got that crease going in. Honey Lid Luster still out of stock. It's very popular there, Stacey. So, as you can see, that's what makes a hooded lid hooded, is that it's coming forward. So you want to create the impression that that's further back. And that's when you put in dark matte, okay, to create a shadow. Now, I'm going to use this one because it's grey-brown, and it looks like a shadow. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to start putting it into the socket. Now, I did tightline my eyes before this video, but no solution for this. It started to run down. The day that they'll invent some way of setting your waterline would be great. So I'm just putting that into there. Now, what you want to achieve is, it's no good doing that and then when you relax your eyes, you can't see the shadow. You've got to be able to see a decent amount of shadow to trick the eye into believing that there's a shadow there. And if most of it's covered up by the hood, then you can't trick that shadow. And then I'm going to take it up and out, give the eye a lift. So all of this, I'm saying, I want to set you back. Like that. Okay, so I'm just going to blend that in. Now, the most hooded bit of my eye is here. That's the bit that it falls down the most. So that's the bit we want to throw the most shadow on. So when you're looking at your eye shape, you've got to work out where you want to throw the most shadow. So this will translate into other shaped eyes as well. And so I'm going to take the darker smoke shade and I'm going to actually dab that because I want it to be really dark. You're all wanting to buy more products, aren't you? Is it because payday's coming around? Hello, Tabusim. Have I said hello, Tria? Right. So I'm dotting that in that corner because I want that bit to be dark. And I'm going to join it up underneath. Like so. Okay. So you've got that and then you just keep blending, obviously. So now we've got the look of a bit more of a shadow. This is coming forward. This is looking further back already. But it's not just about shadow. It's also about light, as you know. So we've got in here a matte light. Now, I think shimmer does it even better. But I'm just going to press some of that light shadow just for a base onto my mobile lid because I want that to look bigger. Okay, and I'm also going to press some of that on the brow bone. Not too far down because we don't want to accentuate the hood. Okay, and then I'm going to take a bit more of that very dark shade and take it underneath. I'm sorry that some of this black liner that I put in my upper waterline has kind of smudged a bit on the bottom, but you'll get the point. Okay, so I think you can see immediately it's starting to look more like it's reshaping my eye. And then what you want is something that is actually quite sparkly on the hooded lid. Not on the hooded lid, sorry, on the mobile lid. Let's have a look what Mr. Aquan has got. He's got a nice pink shimmer. Let's put that because he's not too shimmery. He's not crazily shimmery, but it will really make the eyes pop. Oh, I nearly did it on the other eye. I just want to do it on this one for now. Okay. So we're really, and what you can do, although I've tried this, it's a tip given, but I don't think it does a lot. You can also put a bit of the light underneath, so it looks like a reflection of what's on the upper one, but it never seems to work for me. I think, again, that would be dependent. Hello, PM. Thank you. So I'm just doing a kind of hooded lid and how to accentuate shadow and light to get the best out of your face. Right, now, as I said, I did flatline. Flatline? Yes. Tight line even. I didn't flatline. I'm still breathing. I did actually do, I'm just going to get another liner that is hopefully going to be a bit better quality, because I was actually using an Aldi one before. Oh, excuse me, everyone. Just hold on a second. Right. This one is a black liner from Victoria Beckham. So then what we don't want to put a black liner on top, because we've only got a little bit of mobile lid showing and we don't want to take up that space. So instead, you do your black line in the upper waterline. Hello, 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 hello. To everyone that's just joined, I'll come and say hello to you all in a minute. Yeah, Salon and Cult Beauty, everyone. So what that's going to do is just accentuate the lashes as well. So it's going to give you more definition without taking away. That still is not sparkly enough, really, on the mobile lid. I need something else, and I'm looking around me. To see. I want something a little bit more sparkly on my mobile lid to really accentuate this. Let me see what I have. Okay, this is better. This is from, it doesn't really matter. It's a prime shade from Walk of Shame. It's just got a little bit more oomph to it in terms of sparkle. Okay, and I'm going to put some of that also up here. So we want oomph and sparkle, but we want it in the right place. And then I think I've told you about this trick before, but instead of using a black liner, obviously I've used black in the upper waterline, but then what I do in the corner is I take a dark navy blue. And what that's going to do, now that's because of my eye colour. Now, if you've got a different eye colour to me, you want the opposite. So blue is the opposite to brown. So if you have got green eyes, you want something a bit sort of purpley, amethysty. And if you've got blue eyes, you might want to do a brown liner. Right, but what that does is it looks black, but it actually will emphasize your eyes. And I'm just putting that in the corner, and I'm just flicking it up slightly to give my eye a bit of a lift. All right, but we're not done yet. Now I did actually get by the side of me Charlotte's Exaggerize pencil, but it really doesn't stay in the waterlines. I'm going to try this one. This is the Studio 10 double-sided liner. One side is black and the other side is a skin colour. And what I want is to get a skin colour. Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to do something vile with my eyes, which is try and take off some of that black that's sitting in my waterline. because it's transferred from the top. And I want to take this liner, which is skin coloured, and that's going to open up the eye a bit more. Except even that's not really working well. I'm going to see if I can find... I really want to emphasise this, so just bear with me a second. I really want to emphasise what I'm doing. And I'm just looking for my white eyeliner. I think I know where it is. I think I do. Yes, it's here. Oh, Tria, congratulations on passing your driving test. Right, you could use Charlotte's eye cheat, which is actually very good. It's better than the Exaggerise pencil, but I'm just going to use this white pencil to counteract some of the black that keeps coming off from the upper waterline. That's the only thing about doing your top waterline black, is it transfers onto the lower waterline, which you don't really want because that closes up the eye. Let's have another go at that. It's still got too much black on there for it to show up properly. If anyone ever has any tips for how to stop the top waterline transferring onto the bottom waterline, do let me know. I don't see a solution to it. Oh, messages moving quickly here. Oh, has Suzanne joined us? Hello, Suzanne. Hello, my friend. Suzanne is my real life friend, not just my YouTube friend. You're all my friends, but Suzanne and I have known one another all our lives. Very dear friend of mine. Ah, thank you, Rebecca, for joining me here. I love doing my lives with you all. Because even though things have been tough in the last few weeks, it's been lovely doing the lives, keeping up the lives, even if it's been a bit of a struggle to keep up the other things. Right, so as you can see now, it's looking, this one I hope is looking a little bit more shaped than this one. And then what you need is a good curling mascara, again, to open up the lashes. So I'm going to take my Pillow Talk one, she says. Pillow Talk, or my Sky High one, if I cannot find my Pillow Talk one right now. I can, I'm sure I can. No, I'm going to use the Sky High one. Unless it's in here. Let's use the Sky High one. So what we want is to really, I've curled my lashes before I came on. And you really want to wiggle a brush onto the upper waterline. Oh, is it, Stacey? I'm really obsessed with this NARS one at the moment. I'm loving it. So I'm just going to do one side of my face for now. And I better give myself enough time once I've finished my live to do the other side, or I'm going to look very strange picking Jack up from school. Very strange indeed. Oh, it sounds yummy. I'm trying to do a no buy at the moment. I'll no doubt cave at some point. Right, so now I'm going to take this contour. Now I've done the eyes, so I'm going to take this contour, and what we all want is nice accentuated cheekbones. So I'm going to take this contour brush from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to use the grey one. And I'm going to start, you want to start from here. And can you see that it looks grey? So this is what I love about the Kevyn Aucoin contours. It actually looks like a shadow. Trini does something similar in cream form that looks grey. And you look at it and think, I couldn't possibly put that on. It's going to make me look ashen, but it doesn't, because it looks like a shadow. Can you see? Now, what you don't want to do is start applying shadow where it wouldn't naturally fall. Excuse me a minute, tissue. Because all that's going to do is make you look like you've got lines on your face, which is why Charlotte's saying suck in your cheeks and follow the hollow is really good, because you're actually following what is naturally there, but you're making it more intense. So you want to follow where that, can you see my shadow is naturally there? If I start putting shadow up there, it's just going to look like I've got a line on my face. So when you're doing it, do suck in your cheeks, because it is a good way of showing you where your shadow would naturally fall. And I'm probably overemphasizing it now. Start at the top, because that's where it's going to be most intense. And what you can see I'm doing is little circular motions, just so that I blend it out, because you don't want it to look like a line. But at the same time, don't do very wide circles, because then you're going to take it up where you wouldn't naturally have a shadow. Now, can you see already that that is now looking like I've got a slimmer face? Now, we want to get rid of this double chin. Now, if you see, if I follow this shadow down, if I want to get rid of that double chin, I want to basically continue the shadow from where the shadow ends here, rather than having this light bit there. So I'm going to take that and try and link it up, and then whack that under there. Now, you can afford to go a little bit more crazy under the chin, because unless you walk around like that, no one's going to see if it's really out of place. And most of the time we have our chin down. So that's going to kind of, and then linking it up with that shadow going there. So I've got rid of a little bit of my double chin. And then I'm going to take this also to contour my nose. I'm actually going to use this little highlighting thing. So again, you want to put the shadow where it normally is. So you can see the shadow goes down here. It stops. And again, this is another mistake that people make when they're contouring their nose. You don't want the shadow going all the way down, because the shadow naturally stops at that point. Right, so you need to just follow. It's about intensifying the shadow that you already have. Okay? I'm going to do both sides of my nose. Now, if you want to, and you want to make your nose appear slimmer, the best way of doing that is to take the shadow a bit further up the nose, not down, but up towards this way, because then the highlight at the top is going to be slimmer, and it's going to give the impression of a less. So if you've got a wide nose like I have, right, you can just take the shadow slightly over at the top, so that your nose immediately appears to be a bit slimmer, like that. And when you're blending your nose contour, blend it up for that reason. Don't blend it down. Pinch your nose, because that way you're blending it up into the nose and you're not putting the shadow where it wouldn't normally fit, look, where it wouldn't normally be, okay? So you pinch your nose to blend. And make sure that you follow the shadow all the way up to the eye where it is naturally, because otherwise it's going to look like you've painted it on. So again, it's all about cheating shadow, okay? Like that, and then blend. And then for a highlight, you don't have to put twinkly, glitzy highlight. Again, Kevyn Aucoin does this one, which is a matte one, but it's very effective because it's just going to make certain areas stand out more. So the middle of my nose. And then I can start, obviously I'll probably want to put something a bit more sparkly on my cheekbones, but this is just going to start to lay a base of something that is a little bit lighter, and is going to make that part of my cheekbone a bit more prominent. Okay? And actually you can get away when you've got a matte highlighter, you can also get away using a brush like this, doing this. Don't do this with a shimmery one, but to just get rid of those nasolabial folds, because as you get older, they intensify. So we want to throw light on them so that they don't look as shadowy. There'll be still a bit of a shadow. You can't get rid of it completely, but that will make you look older if you've got a big shadow. If I was to put that contour shade in there now, it would age me by about 10 years. So I'm doing the opposite. I'm just getting rid of the shadow a little bit. And then I can put some up here. I mean, I've already got highlight there, but it's about, and I can put some sculpt shade around the periphery of my face, because the more, if your face is quite wide, if you've got a long face, you don't want to do this. But if your face is quite wide that way and you want it to look a bit slimmer in terms of that, then you throw the shadow on the outer rim. If you've got a quite long face, you want to kind of do the opposite. I haven't done one eye yet. I'm trying to do one half of my face, and then you can get away with doing your blush. Now, I did do my lipstick earlier on, and I did a kind of make my lips look bigger. And I'm going to show you what I did. So I took two pencils. I took, where are you? Where are you? You're there. Ah, Lisa Eldridge. Oh, I might be tempted there. So I took two lip pencils. One of them is Iconic Nude, and the other one is Victoria Beckham. And I also took Where Have You Gone? Where Have You Gone? Where Have You Gone? I also took Exaggerise pencil. I'll show you what I did with that in a minute. So first of all, I took the Victoria Beckham. This is shade 4. And I'm going to do half a lip. And I'm just tracing around my natural lip line. Okay, and then I'm going to build it up in the corner, because I want to look like I've got a fuller lip. Okay, I'm going to do half the lip to show you. And the way that you look like you've got a fuller lip is you're going to have more pout in the middle. As we get older as well, you know, it's not all about age, but our lips get thinner and they kind of, so you want them to look bigger and you want them to look poutier in the middle. So we're throwing shadow on the edge. Like that. And then I'm going to take Iconic Nude, which is lighter, as you know. And then we're going, oh, we're going to throw it across the room. No, we're going to fill in the rest. Like that. And I just press my lips together to smudge it together a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Exaggerize pencil. Now, I don't like this used in the traditional way. It doesn't ever stick to my waterline. But I've used this Exaggerize pencil so much because it is great for shaping the face. So I'm just going to show you. So this is what the Exaggerize pencil looks like. So it's got a bit of shimmer to it. I'm going to trace over. Can you see where the lip goes? There's that little bit of pouty skin. So we want to intensify that. So I'm going to do that first. Again, it's going to, you can also just go over these bits. And this is especially good if, like me, you've got very dark facial hair. And no matter how much you try and get rid of it, you've always got that little bit of a shadow there. And you smudge it in. Can you see it's immediately making that side look bigger? And you can trace a little bit around the bottom, but not here because that's where the shadow is. It's not as effective at the bottom. You want this shadow left as it is because that's where the natural shadow fits. Okay? And you can even, because I'm only doing half a lip, obviously you'd put it both sides. Dab some of this in the center. Okay, now the other thing I use this for is it's great for using under the brow bone. It's great for getting into this bit. Looks really natural in here. So you can use it for anywhere that you want. You can even use it, like you can do a little, you can use it to highlight if you want. I mean, it's a really, really good pencil for a lot of things, except unfortunately it doesn't stay in the waterline, which is a real shame. But as you can see now, so that's that side of my face. Now all I need is a bit of blush. I might as well use Kevyn Aucoin's blush as I have it out. And I'm going to use, I'll use the sort of warmer one of the two, I think. Let me get a blush brush. Here's one of my favourite blush brushes. It's a Real Techniques one. The reason I like it is because it's very difficult to over apply blush with it. Even if it's very pigmented, it's just the way that it picks up product. It makes it almost impossible to over apply. Actually, this one, I tell a lie, is a powder brush. It's not the blush brush, but this one is very similar. So I'm just going to dab a little bit, tap it off, and dab that on. And then, of course, we want some highlight. Now, a lot of this makeup has been quite matte that I've put on. So for the highlight, I'm going to use a cream formula. And I like doing that. I think it works well, is if you've got powders and creams, it kind of gives interest. Because if you look at your skin, there's certain areas of your face look more shiny, other areas look more matte. So I'm always aiming for a mixture of different formulas to kind of evoke what your skin does. You don't have an all matte face. You don't have an all shiny face. That's not what your skin does. So I'm going to take this Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand. And this is in the original one. And it's called Beauty Light Wand. It is the original one, isn't it? Oh, no, this says medium. Let me get the lighter one. I want the lighter one. I don't want the medium one. Yes. This is the original Pillow Talk. So twist it up, give it a squeeze. And then I'm going to dot it. Feel where your cheekbone is. Again, you know, if you've got, and I have, a bit of a chubby face, your bones might not be that prominent, but you can always feel where they are. So you want to put the highlighter where you feel that bone. Again, you can put a bit in the middle of your face. And actually, I know a lot of people do the tip of their nose, but it's actually quite effective doing the top part and leaving the bottom. It actually looks more natural. And then I'm going to highlight that bit a little bit more. Highlight the center of my chin. Again, because this is all going to do that to my face. Highlighting the center of your face is going to do that. If you've got a very narrow face, you don't want to do that because you want the face to look wider. It's all about knowing about how you can shape your face with light and shade. And then I want to give this eye a lift, a further lift, so I'll just dot some of that. And because that, I'm still not happy with this, it's not shimmery enough, I'm just going to top it up with a bit, just on that little bit before the crease. And then what I would do with the lipstick, it's looking a bit weird because I've only done half of my lip, is then I'd cover it with a lip gloss. Rather than a lipstick, I've got my done my contouring with my lip liner. So I want it to be a bit opaque. Oh, you got a body treatment from Paula's Choice. Well done. So, can you see now how that's kind of making the most of my face shape? It's making my cheekbones stand out more. It's casting a bit more of a shadow there. And then on the lid, it's casting a shadow onto the hood. And then this side is just me. Right, I'm going to look at your comments while I just go ahead and do the other side. Let me just do a screenshot of this. Right, I'm going to look at all your comments and then I'm going to do the other side. I hope that's been helpful. It's been a while since I did a hooded lid tutorial, and I thought it was helpful to kind of go through it all again. Why is it you put shadow brushes down and then lose them? Thank you. But can you see with the shape, how you're kind of making the most of your face shape? Right, quickly do the other side, otherwise I'm going to look weird going to Jack's school. Right, let me look at the comments. Yes, the weather has been awful. And it has. I keep meaning to get my summer clothes out and I can't. Every time I think I should get them out, it gets cold again. Tabusim, you must visit John Lewis and Selfridges. Yes. Also, Harvey Nicks is quite good as well. Just get into Bond Street. That'll be it. Selfridges have Huda as well. You've got Tom Ford, Huda Beauty. I think Selfridges have... Is it... No, it's Harvey Nichols has got Trini London. It's taking shape. Yes, Tabusim, we are all on Instagram. I'm just going to go straight to Pillow Talk on here. Bit of the blue pencil. This blue pencil, by the way, is Daniel Sandler's, and it's blue, but it's got an interesting undertone to it. I think he calls it kind of blue turquoise. It's just got, it's beautiful against brown eyes. The camera doesn't really capture it. Now let me try and put on the lower waterline before I do the top waterline. No, it's still just got too much black on my lower waterline that has transferred. I used to get a really good brand of white for the waterline, and it really stayed on well. And I can't remember the brand anymore. I know NYX do some good ones. Oh, the Brontes were born near you. I read all the Bronte books for my A-levels. Takes me back. And I want a bit of black in my upper waterline. Well, I've put some, but I'm just going to add a touch more. Mascara. Oh, yeah, good question. What area are you going to Tabusim? We're all telling you to go to Selfridges and you might not be going anywhere near the West End. Yeah, you forget that there's John Lewis all around the country. We've got one in Essex as well. Yeah, especially your shopping, your whatever you get on your shopping trips in London. Oh, there's a Selfridges in Manchester. I didn't know that. I thought that was only in London. Right, the Sculpt. You're watching from Australia. Hello, Cher. Watching from Australia. What time is it in Queensland? There's one in Birmingham as well. I didn't know that. I thought there was only one Selfridges. You learn something new every day. $10.45. I thought there'd be more of a time difference. Is that 10:45 in the morning? Now, I'm going to sculpt all the way under now. I do love this sculpt shade because it really does look like shadow. Right, and then I'm going to put a bit of this highlighter there, the matte one. And I'll take the blush. The evening. Right, okay, that makes more. I was thinking you meant it was 10:45 in the morning. Thank you, Tria. All done with Sophisticate palette on the eyes, mainly. And then I'm going to put a bit of this Pillow Talk on the cheekbone. You stay up to watch a TV series. Well, I'm glad you stayed up to watch ours as well. Let's do the other half of my lip. You didn't get on very well with the water blush. Right, you need to shake it really well. Shake, shake, shake. Dab it on with one finger. Mix it with the, blend it in with the other. So swap fingers, because otherwise you'll end up with too much product. It takes a bit of getting used to the application, but it looks beautiful when you get the hang of it. So you tap it on, tap the product on with one finger, then switch fingers. So you've got a dry finger, and then start blending it in and keep tapping, tap, 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 and put it on before powder. Thank you, Cher. That's really lovely to hear. Thank you very much. Now I just need to find my other lip liner, which has been here a second ago, and it's now gone. Where are you, other lip liner? You're here looking straight at me. What shade did you get, Stacey? Sounds to me like it's either the shade is too dark or the blending is not quite mastered yet. Pretty pink. So pretty, yeah? Okay, well, that should be okay. But you need a tiny, tiny amount. How's my dad doing? He's doing well at the moment, actually. He's doing... We're going to see him tomorrow. He seems to be having more up days, and because some days we call him and he's in a lot of pain, and or he's sort of moaning, and we say he's in pain, but we don't know what it is because he can't tell us. But he seems to be having more up days than down days at the moment, which is good. It's good for all of us because it's horrible to hear him at the other end and not actually be able to get to him. So, yeah. Now, what did I do with that exaggerized pencil? Everything's still in front of me, but I just go, I put things down and then I can't see them anymore. Ah, there we are. Thank you, Suzanne. And then I'll put the gloss over that side. This is the Pat McGrath, the little ones. This is the one that didn't have the broken doe foot. There we go. I've still got black from my upper waterline transferring down, which is annoying. There's nothing you can do. You just have to... Your bloodline is European, so hopefully I'll get to visit one day. Well, my bloodline is Fiji, so I've got a lot of relatives in Australia that I've never met before. Thank you, Diane. So I need to say hello to Diane, to Cher, to Bushra, to Terry. You put, Stacey. Terry says she puts a drop in her palm, spreads it around with her finger, and then dabs a little on each cheek. Less is better. I agree. I hope I haven't missed anyone out saying hello to you all. If I've missed you out, let me know now. And when's Charlotte bringing her SPF out? Does anyone know? I keep checking. . Fiji is so beautiful. I know I'd love to go, but it's such a long flight from the UK. It's like 24 hours, isn't it? You're just halfway around the world. Hopefully one day. I don't know. Hopefully. It's like you've got to make a big commitment out of your time to go to Fiji because you need to be there for at least a month. And I've always said that I probably need to go incognito anyway, because Dad's got a lot of family out there and they'll all want me to stay there for a week. I'll have a look. I'm trying to do a no buy at the moment, but I will have a look at Lisa Eldridge's new sale, definitely. This, by the way, is my birthday present from my dad. It's cashmere from Marks and Spencer's hoodie, and I'm absolutely in love with it. Let me just show you. Absolutely, it's probably not the best outfit to wear it with, but I've been living in it. It's a lovely speckled, completely cashmere hoodie, and it's so warm when it's cold and cool when it's warm because it's cashmere. I love cashmere. And then I've got my pinafore on today, my corded pinafore dress, because I saw someone wearing it on a drama last night, a similar outfit, and I thought, oh, that's made me want to wear mine. Oh, this is so comfortable, but it also looks smart as well. I was cooking curry last night and I took it off because I thought, you know, it's the one thing you're bound to get turmeric on. And as you know, turmeric doesn't come out of anything. What was the light pencil you used for your lips? They are beautiful. Okay. So what I used on my lips, I'll tell you all of the things because there were two light things. So I used Victoria Beckham pencil was the dark one, which is shade 4. And then the lighter one of the two to fill in my lips was called Iconic Nude by Charlotte Tilbury. But I think you're probably referring to the bit that gave the shine in the middle. And that is actually an eye pencil. But I use it a lot of the time for not where it's supposed to be used on the eyes, but I use it for everything else. And this is Charlotte Tilbury's double-sided exaggerized pencil. So one side is black and the other side is a kind of lovely champagne colour. Now, it's meant to be used, you know, black champagne. It's meant to be used so you put black on the top lid and then you put this in your waterline. But I found that it doesn't actually stick very well in my waterline. But I've ended up using it a lot for other purposes. So I use it in here. I use it to highlight my upper brow bone. But I also use it to highlight the center of my lips. So it's actually a really versatile pencil. But the ironic thing is that the thing that it was designed to do is not what I use it for, because it just, for some reason, although it looks really pigmented, it just does not stick in my lower waterline. I think it probably would if you put it on skin, but not waterline. It just does not stick well to the waterline. And also you can use it to highlight over the ridge like that. Really lovely for that. So I've used it a lot, but not for its purpose. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am 51 and I'm glad that you're learning a lot, because that's kind of my passion. I did stage makeup when I was 18. So it's got me really interested in makeup and light and shadow and stuff. So didn't stick in my waterline either, but I love it. So you know now and it works really well in this bit because it actually looks like that, you know, the highlight that you put, because it doesn't, you know, this bit doesn't naturally look powdery. So if you put a powder highlight, it doesn't really look natural. But because this is a cream product, this works really well, and it's really good for highlighting that brow bone. So there's loads of uses for it, other than to use it for the way that it was designed for. And it really is lovely and pigmented. It's just unfortunate that I just don't find it sticks well in my waterline. Your phone died watching me on a 50-inch TV. Oh dear, that sounds a bit scary, Stacey. Anyway, I'm going to have to love you and leave you now. But thank you so much for joining me. You've all been lovely. I love all my Ali Pallies. And thank you for sticking with me over the last few weeks. You know I haven't been popping up as regularly, but I will keep my lives going. Do stay in touch. And I will be doing another live next week at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. That's my regular slot. And don't forget to like the live before you go. Thank you very much. Love you all. Mwah!